Good morning, Guardians. Hijabi Gamer here, and it is Tuesday, so it's time for another Destiny, the first weekly reset video, which apparently I am only one of 2 YouTube channels who do this, so please share this with other Destiny players so they know that, yeah, there's still people out there who love Destiny. Though, if you haven't played Ghost of Tsushima, you should play it. I want to go back to live streaming it. That game is awesome. But that aside, we have an interesting week this week in Destiny 1, starting with the weekly Crucible. Weekly Crucible is Mayhem Clash, which, you know what, I might see if I can get a little of that, because Mayhem Clash is just insanity and chaos. And honestly, when I play Mayhem Clash, it's not about winning, losing, it's just about total insanity, which is kind of fun. So you get the usual Treasure of Ages box and 10 legendary marks. Then you have the weekly story playlist, which is you get, like I've said, this is your way to basically farm legendary marks. You get 20 legendary marks for 5 times you do this. So you do this 5 times, you get at least 20, up to 35 legendary marks. So you can get at least 100 legendary marks a week, and a Treasure of Ages box. And the stories for this week are Dark Champions, which I have found is usually like bosses. So, Crota, the missions that involve bosses. So when you go after the crystal with Crota's soul in it, those sort of things. The Shadow of Oryx, where we're the Cabal ship and you're going in the Cabal ship that's crashed into the Dreadnought, those kind of missions. The modifiers for this week are, of course, it's always heroic, which means enemies appear in greater numbers and are more aggressive. Then you have Solar Burn, which is, I like Solar Burn, mostly because I also have primary exotics with Solar Burn, and I usually like to play a Gunslinger in Destiny 1. Destiny 2, I'm more of an Arc Strider, but Destiny 1, I like Solar. Then you have Specialist, so special weapon damage is favorite. And I've been using this fusion rifle a lot more. The weighting, it's a solar fusion rifle. I usually wasn't big on fusion rifles, but I'm finding myself, they're pretty cool to have. I mean, they're kind of powerful, so I've been using the weighting. It's a solar one. So I'll probably, if I do any of these, I will use that. Because I like opening the treasure boxes and getting the legendary marks. But you need, the important thing to keep in mind, you only can carry 200 legendary marks. So if you reach 200 and you do another mission, you won't get more marks. Once you reach 200, it stops. Just in case you didn't know that, one way I spend legendary marks is buying, relic iron, planetary materials from the tower. It's just a way to go through them. I have so many. I mean, this is over 600 spin metal, and I have a lot in the vault. It's insane. So that's the weekly story missions. Then you have the Siva Crisis Heroic Strikes. The modifiers for that are heroic, of course, enemies appear in greater numbers. Solar Burn, solar damage from any source is greatly increased. Ooh, small arms, primary weapon damage is favored. I actually have on Xbox one of the primary exotic solar weapons. So that would be sweet. That would just burn through enemies. That would be awesome. I don't have it on me, but I do have one. So I think I would, I might try that out because that sounds like fun. And then fresh troops. Some enemy squads have been fortified with additional reinforcements. Keep in mind that is when I'm not playing Ghost of Tsushima. But I might try that because, having small arms and solar burn will be pretty awesome to do. Alright? And you do find people. I was playing Destiny on Saturday. And we got joined by people. So me and I think Martin did Omnigul, and all of a sudden I noticed that there was a third person. So there are people playing Destiny, and there are people doing strikes, Crucible, and the like. So, and there are new players. Surprisingly, a surprisingly large number of new players. I mean, it's not overwhelming, but there are new players. Then for Challenge of the Elders, I did the first 2 bosses because I have to get to work. So the 3 bosses for Challenge of the Elders are the Wretched Knight, Dark Blade of the Hive. So that's the not taken Hive. He's pretty easy. You just need to watch out for his bombs. He gives you alerts. There's like, Kexis summons bombs. Kexis like pushes his enemies away, so he has a stomp attack, so just don't be too close to him when he does the stomp attack. I tend to get at him from a distance anyway as a hunter, you know, for pretty squishy. Just be careful of the wizards. But yeah, it's not that difficult. It's not like the Cabal. The Cabal are hard. Then the second boss is Kexis the Betrayed. So Kexis the Betrayed is the Taken Fallen. He's a pain in the butt because he has that bomb thing that drains your light, and there's a trick to dealing with it, and every time he comes up I keep saying I'm gonna figure out what the trick is, and then I never do, and I just, yeah. Finally, the third boss is Time Stalker of the Vex, the Overmind Minotaur. That is the not taken Vex. Piece of cake, especially with the present modifiers, even easier. So the modifiers are super kill bonus, ironclad, more enemies have shields, and specialist, which means using a sniper rifle or a fusion rifle adds more damage. So yeah, you could use I was using my fusion rifle against the Time Stalker of the Vex. I was using it against the Dark Blade of the Hive. Yeah, you can shoot them from a distance, piece of cake. The only thing is, I gotta use a different super, because if you get a super kill bonus, using Gunslinger is really not a good one to use. You need something that has a lot of crowd clearing. I don't know what I'd go with. Probably with Night Stalker, because there really isn't that much super kill bonuses. There's not a lot of like crowd clearing supers for hunters, especially. But any suggestions, let me know in the comments. I mean, I'm always open to hearing suggestions from other players. Finally, we have the weekly. Oh wait, no, the Nightfall. I didn't mention the Nightfall. So the Nightfall, I skipped the Nightfall, huh? So the Nightfall is the Sunless Cell, which is a la cool the Dark Blade. It's on. I mean, you go through it here, but it's the one on the Dreadnought. It's the one here, the Sunless Cell. This one I soloed once years ago. Not easy to do, because that's the one where you drop down into a pit and there's a boss who you can't see, and so you have to basically move your target around until it turns red, and or just, yeah, not easy to do. The modifiers are epic, so heavily shielded and highly aggressive enemies appear in greater numbers. Then you have grounded, players take more damage while airborne. Then you have chaff, player radar is disabled. That one isn't always that bad, honestly. Fresh troops, some enemy squads have been fortified with additional reinforcements, and catapult. Grenade recharge rate is greatly increased. So the thing to keep in mind with this is the Shriekers. Those Shriekers are not Destiny 2 Shriekers, if you have forgotten. These are Destiny 1 Shriekers. Destiny 1 Shriekers, if you kill them, they will send something back at you, and they will, I mean, as a hunter, will often just one-shot kill you. I remember when I soloed it, sniping the Shriekers, then running up the path to get fast, far away, because if you're too close, those little purple balls will hit you and basically kill you. I often use Night Stalker to become invisible, and there's a point where, yeah, but just the Shriekers are a lot harder in Destiny than they are in Destiny 2. There's that point where you have the two islands, and you have to kill there are two wizards on the island, and then you kill the Shrieker, and you're kind of stuck, so I've usually gone invisible and crouched. It's an interesting one. I have done it. I haven't done it in a while, but a la cool is fun. I just remember the first time I sold him, we had arc burn. Thankfully, there's no arc burn. Arc burn, the Thrall do arc attack, arc damage. So, yeah, that was fun. Then you have the weekly featured raid, which is Vault of Glass. And you know what? I would love to do Vault of Glass in the original Destiny. I still need to get No Time to Explain on Xbox. A group of people basically just carried me through the lower level Vault of Glass, and so I could get it on PlayStation, because there's no cross save in Destiny 1, which is why if you see my Destiny 1 on PlayStation, it's a different character with different stuff. But So that's the Vault of Glass. That's the weekly raid. Anyway, that's the basics going on for Destiny this week. Let me know if I miss anything, if there's anything else I should be adding to this. Tips, tricks, suggestions, I'm always open to hearing them. I'm definitely going to be live streaming more Ghost of Tsushima because that game is awesome, and if you haven't played it, I highly recommend it. Which is surprising because there's no guns in Ghost of Tsushima. And I hope to see you around the tower. Cat's sleeping.